And welcome, everybody, to another episode of Take 5 here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, brought to you by PrizePicks.com. Use the promo code 5, that's F-I-V-E, and they will match up to $100 on your initial deposit when you sign up. I am Louis Sung, and today I want to talk to you about the Miami Dolphins running back position. Why am I talking about this right now? Because the rumors have already started. It's already begun once again. Are the Miami Dolphins interested in Derrick Henry? Apparently, according to some report floating out there in the ether that has no credible name attached to it, Derrick Henry is very interested in being a part of the Miami Dolphins. And I guess one can make the argument that Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley and Austin Eckler and everybody who's going to be a free agent would also be interested in the Miami Dolphins, because that's how this game is played. Everybody wants to play in Miami. And the only reason I feel like this caught any sort of traction, really, is because all of these aggregate Twitter accounts that basically just try to parrot what other people have said or just make stuff up and hope that it catches on because somebody else out there will retweet it and make it look like that it's real. This is a thing that happens all the time, and I understand that it's very exciting. It gets the heart racing when you see that a big name free agent is interested in going to your team. I personally would love to have Derrick Henry, but it would have to be at my price. And right now, my price for a running back is very, very low. The reason it's so low, and I understand who Derrick Henry is. I understand what kind of a boost he would provide any rushing attack. He's Derrick Henry. He's a bruiser. He's the ultimate running back for getting that short yardage gain, not to mention the fact that he's been a top 5 running back every year for the past, I don't even know how many years. I would have to actually look back at every single number for the past several years he's been playing to see what he ranks at that regard. But what I want to go ahead and point out to everybody once again is that the Miami Dolphins had a top 3 rushing attack last season. To some extent, you could argue they had the best one, but I had to go by the statistics right now. And based on the statistics, just going off of the actual team stats, the Miami Dolphins were tied for first with the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers with 27 total rushing touchdowns. As far as the yards go, the Miami Dolphins were number 6 and only behind the Lions, the Cardinals, the 49ers, the Bears, and the Ravens. Keep in mind, the Bears and the Ravens specifically get a lot of help from their quarterbacks who love to run with the football. And if we're going to talk about individuals, let's talk about individuals. Raheem Mostert, at the age of 31 years old, has just been voted to his first ever Pro Bowl. He got snubbed for All-Pro, which he was not particularly thrilled about. And keep in mind, he only played 15 games. A lot of these other guys ended up playing more games. Not everybody, but they've ended up playing more games and were able to accomplish more. Raheem Mostert led the NFL with 18 total touchdowns, which, by the way, also breaks a franchise record for total touchdowns in a season. And you have him getting at number 10 overall with rushing yards. That's 1,012 rushing yards for Raheem Mostert. And that's just Mostert himself. Understand and remember that he doesn't have as much tread on his tires as some of these other guys do. Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. You have other guys in there that are also on the younger side, but Raheem Mostert in particular stands out above the rest because he's able to do these things at the age of 30 and beyond, which is when the running back position is supposed to just magically and miraculously fall off the edge of a cliff. Now, even if that is what you're concerned about, you still have Devon Achane, who's sitting back there waiting for an opportunity to be considered the main starter for this team. In 2023, his rookie season, he played in 11 games. 4 of them he spent on IR, and honestly, he didn't need to spend that much time on IR, but the Dolphins were trying to protect him from himself. He had 103 carries, 800 yards. He scored 8 rushing touchdowns. That's not even including his receiving touchdowns, okay? And he got 7.8 yards a carry. That is an NFL record. He obviously knows what to do in this offense. He looks like he's very comfortable in this offense, which is phenomenal. And he's only going to get better. He was a rookie last season. He didn't quite make the all-pro, all-rookie team. However, he did make it on the athletics list, so that helps. And quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, between Mostert and Achane, what exactly are the Dolphins missing? If you're going to say a bruiser, I will say, well, number one, Mostert has some bruising capabilities. He's already shown that he can do that. That's why he bulked up this season so that he could get the most out of himself. But if you really need somebody who can get that 3rd and 1, that 4th and 1, and you want to be able to know for sure that he's going to get the job done, you still have Chris Brooks just sitting there waiting for another opportunity. He did a phenomenal job when he was given the opportunity to play. And that's, again, even though it was at the tail end of games, usually because the Dolphins had already won or because they'd already lost, Chris Brooks was exciting. He was fun. He played like he wanted it. He played with a passion. There was a fire in his gut because he wanted to prove that he could do it. So you don't need to go get Derrick Henry to be a bruiser. You have Chris Brooks already. And if you are still not comfortable with that, listen, there's an undrafted free agent out there somewhere who fits the role that Chris Brooks would have, or whatever the bruiser running back is. Still got Mostert, still got Anon. You can put Brooks or somebody else in there. You're probably not even going to keep Jeff Wilson because you need to save money somewhere. Miami Dolphins are good at running back. Unless somebody's willing to take a very tiny deal, unless you can get Derrick Henry for like $5 million, then there's no need to go anywhere else. So that's going to be it for this. Make sure that you're tuned in on the 5 Reasons Sports Network for more Dolphins content as the offseason progresses, and we will see you all next time.